Sorry. Okay. Welcome to Geek slash Nerds. Nerd?
Do it again.
Welcome to Geek slash Nerds.
No, there's no S.
Welcome to Geek slash Nerd.
The podcast.
I'm Mark.
That was incredibly difficult.
Well, you know, I've got the giggles already, and we haven't even started, really, have we? So
this is terrible. I don't know how we're going to continue at this rate.
Should we just stop the whole experiment right here, then? Just go.
Probably not bother with this anymore.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Game over. Game over. Okay. Right. Well, this is an experiment. It's our first go at Google Hangouts, YouTube, podcast. Apparently, it's podcast, isn't it? Podcast.
Yeah, podcast.
Broadcasting on all media that we can get this on.
Crazy these days.
Yeah. So we thought we'd start our very first show with a brief chat, or a long chat, or a boring chat on
a chat. A chat nonetheless.
Of superheroes in films, i.e. Marvel, DC, and wherever. So just a brief outline of what's coming out. I'll let Dan go through that because he's obviously done the research. You have done the research, haven't you?
I've done loads of research.
Yeah, you've done loads of research. So
I'm a ball of research.
You're just research. Go on, you go.
DC wise, it's not. I mean, obviously they've got like a full roster of sort of movies coming up, but the only ones that are really being talked about at the moment is obviously the Batman versus Superman, and Suicide Squad is being talked about a lot at the moment. But I don't know. I don't like. I love what Marvel have done. I love that everything sort of ties into each other. I just find it really cool when you can just go back and watch these films and then you can spot these little things and you'd be like, oh, that's from that and all that. I love all that. And I'm not. I don't know. Like I think DC.
Not a big fan of DC.
But they're kind of playing catch up, aren't they? And I don't think.
Yeah, and I mean,
going to rush it.
You didn't mention the other film that they're actually. So I think it's in pre-production at the moment. It's Wonder Woman.
Yeah, but it'd be interesting to see it. I mean, I'm gonna reserve judgment. I'll see how Batman versus Superman. I mean, well, the thing is, I say this regardless. I'm going to see these films.
Yeah, of course you are. I am.
Regardless of whether I'm excited about them or not. But
what I will say is, from what I've seen on the DC stuff, from their promotional material and some of the artwork and all that, it does look like it's going from a darker perspective than, say, the Marvel films. Yeah. Is that fair to say? It looks a little bit grittier, a bit darker. I mean, if you look at Wonder Woman's costume or even Aquaman's costume,
yeah.
I mean, you couldn't have him in a green leotard with a tight gold top, really, could you?
Yeah.
It looks like it's going to be grittier. It's interesting. I
think their characters are grittier, though, aren't they? Really, than Marvel's.
What, darker? Yeah. Is that because they tend to have more tragic backgrounds?
Well, I mean, most superheroes do, don't they? Really, regardless. I mean, is there a superhero that doesn't particularly have a tragic background or some sort of tragedy in there somewhere?
The Flash.
Yeah, but I mean, it depends what.
No, his father was killed, wasn't he? Was it his father or his mum? His mum was killed, so okay.
Probably changed throughout the years.
Here's one for you. Got ya.
Go on.
Aquaman.
Yeah.
Thor.
But then I've never really watched a lot of. Well, I don't really remember Aquaman as a kid. So I can't remember the background. But Thor has like the whole thing with his brother.
It's not his brother.
Well, his half brother then.
He's a god. Every family. That's not exactly tragic, is it?
Well, it is. Then you have to.
My brother's a tosser.
Brother that you grew up with. That's pretty tragic.
I wouldn't call it tragic. That's just family life.
if I had a brother that I grew up with and I was quite sort of close with, and then suddenly I had to sort of fight with him and, you know, banish him and stuff like that, I'd be a bit, oh.
That's what brothers do!
Yeah, well, no, well...
Do you not watch EastEnders, or...
Have you ever had to banish your brother from somewhere?
Can I get back to you on that one?
Okay, that's... There's still time remaining on that one.
Okay, so Marvel then, yeah?
But hang on, but just very quickly, going back to the whole DC thing, what did you think of Man of Steel?
Man of Steel bored me.
Okay.
Put it this way, I probably watched it twice, yeah? And
More than me.
And let's put that in perspective. I probably watched all the Marvel films at least 6 or 7 times.
Yeah.
And it's not a film that I want to go and particularly watch again, because there's not really a lot of Superman in it.
Yeah.
It is Kal-El, you know what I mean? It's not the Superman persona. There's a lot of Clark Kent in it.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of Kal-El, whatever his name is, Kal-El. I can never get those names right. But you get what I mean, don't you? I mean, Superman has 3 personas, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Superman 1, you got his alien persona, and then you got his secret identity. So that maybe I'm hoping it will be better that he's got somebody to play off. You know, i.e. Batman.
Yeah. Yeah.
So maybe
that I'm sort of excited about seeing them two, how they sort of play off each other. But I wasn't overly keen. It was weird because it was like going to see Superman Returns, like all those years ago. You was like excited about it, but then you watch it, and you're like, oh, I wish more happened. Like there wasn't really much action going on. He didn't really do much sort of Superman stuff.
Yeah.
Under this one, and then like the final fight is probably, I mean, it's like the third Transformers film where it went on for about half hour, and you're kind of like, I'm bored of this now.
Let's not talk about Transformers. Transformers is bad.
Less said about Transformers, the better. But
and that shitty director.
Where it sort of dragged on a bit, and you're like, okay, this was what I wanted. I didn't want to see more sort of Superman stuff, but not this much. This is too much now.
It just didn't quite hit the notes. You know what it was, and I think the essential missing ingredient was for Superman to play off. It was 90% of the film. There was no sort of person to play off.
Yeah.
You think about all the other ones, all the other superheroes films. There's always somebody like a baddie or somebody like that. Whereas Superman, it didn't really kick in until the end of it, and then there was just nothing there, and just kind of, well, you know.
Yeah.
So.
And he killed Zod.
We're going to go over to Marvel now. You ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
Shall we just stamp on the spider in the room?
Oh dear. Oh dear. It's okay if you want to stop listening now, folks.
What? I thought that was a good sideways movement.
I won't judge you.
Well, yeah. I mean, obviously the big news is Spider-Man will be brought into the Marvel universe.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's obviously a Marvel character not owned by Sony, but they have the rights to it.
Yeah, they have the film rights.
Let's just recap on the previous Spider-Man films.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to recap?
I can recap. First Spider-Man, great. Spider-Man 2, even better. Which obviously no one thought would be possible, but somehow they managed to make a Spider-Man 3. The thing, it is difficult for me with a Spider-Man film because, like, I love.
You know what? I couldn't disagree with you more. By the way, I'm just letting you go on, but I couldn't disagree with you more.
Okay. But I've always loved Spider-Man growing up, so I think regardless of whether the film's good or not, I think I'd probably enjoy it because I love that character and always have, like, since I was a kid. But even then, like, I mean, Spider-Man 3 was poor, but I still kind of enjoyed it because it
They
was
were all poor. They were all poor.
even two.
Yep.
Really?
Yes, they were all
What
poor.
do you like about it?
I'll
Okay,
tell you what.
what do you like about it? But take away the him, the fact that the webs sort of came from his veins, which is just weird. I always found that weird.
You know what? He was so patriotic. You could put him in a flipping Captain America outfit and not tell the difference.
In the third one, I didn't really notice it.
No. In all the, I mean, think about it, the train scene. USA, USA. Come on. Yeah. I didn't need that. I'll tell you what. The Amazing Spider-Man.
Apologies for any Americans that are listening to this, by the way. That's not.
I've got no problem with Americans. I just don't.
I think it's just like a British thing where we're not really like that. So
we're not patriotic. Yeah.
Yeah, we find it odd.
We don't have a Lieutenant Brit or whatever, Lieutenant Britain.
That's true.
Yeah. No, I just found it a little bit too much rammed in my face. I wanted the character. The Amazing Spider-Man works for me because it's a bit more tongue-in-cheek.
Yeah, and I think he's more Spider-Man for me, because obviously Spider-Man was always very, very cocky, and like Tobey Maguire had his moments when he did that, but it wasn't as much as in the new ones.
Yeah,
and I quite like that when he sort of make these little like terrible sort of jokes, kind of like yourself.
Yeah.
But he pulls them off better.
Yeah, and what I really am looking forward to is the rumor that they're going to reboot again. Yeah, with a black actor playing Spider-Man. And
I'm happy to go with that.
Yeah, I am as well. I'm really happy. I know it's kind of reinventing the whole character, but I just think it excites me for some reason. Don't know why, but it excites me.
I think it's like the best route to sort of go down at this point, because you don't like, from what I've been reading like the last couple of days, they're not going to do like a reboot where they're going to do the whole like him getting bitten again and blah blah blah, because everyone knows it now. Like you don't need to again. I'm surprised they did that again with Amazing Spider-Man, to be honest, because it wasn't really that much sort of further.
Yeah, but that's almost a comic reinvention of the comic book, though, isn't it? Because you had the Spider-Man, then you had the Amazing, and this would be along with the new reboot recently, where Spider-Man in the comic books is a black kid, isn't he? So, I think
nice.
I don't think there's enough sort of superheroes from ethnic minorities out there anyway, so it would be really quite cool, and I think it would bring a new dimension to it all, because if you think they're all white middle class kind of, they are, aren't they, essentially, so it might bring a different, or super rich playboys, so or aliens, but generally white, so I mean, the only other one I can think of is you got Black Panther.
Yep. And that's pretty much it, really.
Yeah.
Falcon.
Who?
Falcon,
yeah, but then he's a bit part.
Yeah, but apparently he's going to be in Age of Ultron as well. Saw the other day.
No, I heard that, but I didn't know whether it was going to be this one or, because after the Age of Ultron, there's going to be. Why do trilogies have 4 films in them now? I don't know, but it's. Apparently, the next Avengers going to be a 2-parter after Age of Ultron. So, and I did hear rumors, but I can't remember what it was. So yes, I'm looking forward to the Spider-Man thing. I'm
really looking forward to that. Especially, I really hope that they do go down the whole route of using Miles Morales instead of Peter Parker. It'd just be it'd be interesting to see what they do. But
you know the name. Well done.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I know my Spider-Man stuff.
Yeah.
Have you seen that? They've I don't know if it's like official yet or anything like that, but they're looking at Drew Goddard to write and direct it.
No, didn't.
Yeah.
Who's Drew Goddard? Remind me.
Drew Goddard. He's like one of the Whedon's mates.
Oh, it's one of the Whedon clan.
He was going to be doing. I don't know if he still is now. I don't know if you know if it's still a thing, but he was going to be writing and directing the Sinister Six.
Okay.
Movie. I like Goddard. He comes up. He does good stuff.
Okay.
I think there's definite potential there.
Yeah.
And I think now with Marvel sort of having a bit of a say in it as well.
Yeah.
Be quite good. I don't know. I think it'll take a lot for him to mess this one up.
I'm still waiting for Marvel to totally miss-hit with one of their films at the moment. And my fear is, I mean, okay, some of my Iron Mans have been a bit kind of hit, touch and go, but, they'd just be carried by the lead actor, I can't remember.
Downey Jr.
Downey Jr., Robert Downey Jr. But I've got a sneaky suspicion that they're going to miss with Ant-Man.
Do you think?
Yeah, I
no. Well, but I think this is probably going to be like a similar thing to like with Guardians of the Galaxy. Everyone was kind of expecting Guardians of the Galaxy to kind of fail because it was just, you watch it, you're like, oh, a talking raccoon, that's like weird and stuff. It's like it was quite a difficult sell in comparison to all the other stuff. But then it did fantastically well.
I'm open. I will watch it, but I just feel that. I mean, to me, Guardians of the Galaxy loved it. To me, it is probably the second best Marvel film out.
Not only that, but also like bear in mind when the first Iron Man came out, Iron Man wasn't like a particularly well-known character at that time, like by the cinema-going masses. Yeah. So. There's that. I don't know. I think it could be alright. I think it's going to be. I don't know. I mean, they've made so many films now. I think it's tough to imagine them sort of bringing something out that doesn't really work and is sort of pretty crap.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I just we'll see. We'll see. We'll see on that one. I just think there's going to be a little bit of because they've gone with the second generation Ant-Man. Which is understandable because they don't need another scientist in the Avengers. Yeah. But we shall see on that one. So, right, I think I've got about 5 minutes to go. So, is there anything else we haven't touched on? What else is there in terms of Marvel that we should probably touch on?
Did you ever used to watch like the old animated stuff?
Yes. That's where I liked Spider-Man was from the Spider-Man and his Amazing Friends.
Yes.
Yeah.
That one like early 90s, wasn't it?
Yeah, and that was with
was it Iceman and Firestar?
Yeah. So that was my Spider-Man. That was my Spider-Man kind of thing. That's why the Amazing Spider-Man sort of resonated a little bit more.
I think I've actually got a DVD box set of those.
Have you really?
Yeah, I think I saw it in like the works, and it was like $3.99, or you get free for a tenner or something like that. And then I just bought a load of them, and I bought what else did I buy? I bought like the a box set of I think it was the 1960s animated like Hulk.
Okay, yeah.
When it was all like, it wasn't like sort of animated in the way we know animated now, but it was kind of like sort of motion graphic animated in a way, but how it was back then. And I used to watch like the similar one of Captain America with the really old like sort of cheesy theme tunes. Back then, it was brilliant. It's lovely.
Yeah, I mean, you go back to the old cartoons. You've just reminded me because you were talking about 1980s, 1970s. About I remember seeing a Captain America film.
Oh yes.
Yeah, which is nothing like the characters. Like Captain America is not Captain America who's retired and all that. He suddenly comes out of retirement and it's all like very much Dick Tracy like.
And he's not even like Captain America until like the last 10-15 minutes.
Yeah. And the other one is the Spider-Man, the really bad Spider-Man film.
Yeah.
So
it's the costumes for me.
Yeah.
But more importantly, while we're going down this road, did you ever see the Fantastic Four one, the Roger Corman?
No.
Oh, you sound confused by this. Do you not know about this?
No, I don't. No. Where'd that come from?
This was years and years ago. I think this was the 80s and stuff, and I think Roger Corman had the rights to like film rights to the Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
They were due to like the contract was due to end, and it was kind of similar to the whole thing that was going on with Superman. I think before Man of Steel come out, where the rights were sort of due to come to an end, so they like fast tracked a film. So they could keep the rights. But anyway, Roger Corman did the exact same thing. So he fast-tracked this Fantastic Four movie so he could keep hold of the rights to use it. But it was never released. Like, it was purposely never released.
He made it and then didn't release it, but he fulfilled the terms of the contract so he could keep the rights.
Yeah. But you watch it. It's bad, but it's not like I've seen worse. I've seen a lot worse. But the funny,
like the original Spider-Man film.
Yeah, but
that was poor.
And excuse the pun, but the funny thing about it,
yeah, God, come on, lay out on me.
Is that the actual costume for the Thing wasn't that bad. It was actually quite impressive considering like the budget and when it was made. And I preferred that to the look of the Thing in the other like Fantastic Four movies that are made like years back.
Yeah, they're bad. So
they were like really, really poor. But this one is probably on YouTube actually. You can probably sort of find it. Just have a look. Just like do a search for like Fantastic Four Roger Corman.
I think I might do. Right, dude.
Watch.
Right. I actually think. I know this has only been about 15 minutes or whatever, 20 minutes probably. Yeah, it's quite long. I've actually enjoyed it. So what I'm going to suggest is that we come back and we revisit this topic, probably next time. Should we do a part 2? Do you want to do a part 2?
We could do a part 2.
Yeah? We'll do a part 2?
Yeah. Let's part 2.
Let's do a part 2. Okay, so to all those people listening, watching, reading, can you read this? Should we read it?
I'm not typing this all out.
No, okay, right. So all those people that are consuming this podcast, video, whatever, we will hopefully when we're going to say next week, or
well.
Next week we will try and do a part 2 on this. I will do a little bit more research, and I think we'll do a little bit more retro, and we'll try and probably outline what the latest goss on that, and then I think we'll try and work out what we're going to talk about the week after. Yeah. So are you happy with that?
I'm over the moon.
Over the moon, not literally, just over the moon.
And if anyone like has any ideas of what we should talk about, maybe drop us a line. Yeah.
My favourite subject is me, but let's just move on from that.
Yeah. Very, very quick show.
Yeah. I'm brilliant. That's it. No. Right. So. All right. So we'll go over. Next week we'll try and encompass all the other things that we haven't talked about, because there's a couple of very good films out through, such as Superman Red Sun. Yep. Yeah, and a couple of other things, and we'll probably go a little bit more into depth on Batman versus Superman, and how we feel that's going to go, and whatever the latest films are. So. Are you ready? Are we going?
Yeah, let's do this.
Okay, right. Bye from me.
And bye from me. Thanks for listening.
Bye.
Bye.